Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Cryptalks. Before moving any further, I would request you all to kindly subscribe to our channel so that we can bring more of such investment related videos for you all. Today we are going to talk about Bitcoin and everything you need to know about it. So let's begin. Bitcoin was invented in 2008 by a person named Satoshi Nakamoto. But even till date, nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto actually is. His identity is unknown. The currency came into use in 2009 when its implementation was released as an open source software. The first person who received the Bitcoin was Cypherpunk Hall Finney. He downloaded the Bitcoin on its release date. Bitcoin is a digital form of currency, so like we do transactions in the stock market or like we send or receive money through online payment modes like UPI etc., in the same manner one can send and receive Bitcoin digitally. There is a sender and a receiver, but there is no intermediary like banks, stock exchanges or anything of that sort in between. When you create a user ID on any cryptocurrency exchange, you get a private key. Now when you buy or sell Bitcoin, a Bitcoin address will be created. You may also say it a public key. And when a transaction takes place, that Bitcoin address will be recorded in the blockchain. Though with the help of a private key, you can compute a Bitcoin address. But with the help of a Bitcoin address, you cannot get to a private key. So the vice versa cannot be done. And this ultimately makes you anonymous, making your transactions completely safe. And during the process of mining the Bitcoin, the network verifies the transaction only with the help of the public key. So a private key is never revealed to anyone. Before talking about Bitcoin, let us understand the position of physical currency and whether it has a limited supply or not. So money has an unlimited supply, but the government can't just print any amount of money it wants. Numerous factors are to be taken care of. Let's suppose the government prints unlimited money. Now you are not the only person who would get that money. In that case, every single person would get wealthier. So let's take an example. If there are 10 people wanting to buy a car worth 5 lakh rupees and all of them are willing to pay 10 lakh rupees for that car. Now how will the person sell that car to those 10 people having 10 lakh rupees as the price of the car is only 5 lakh rupees? So he can't. Ultimately, to sell that car, the seller will have to increase the price of the car to 11 lakh rupees. This is called inflation. If we print any amount of money we want, it shall cause inflation. And ultimately our currency will be devalued. And to curb these issues of inflation and deflation, the supply of Bitcoins was made limited in number. The total supply of Bitcoin is 21 million. Nakamoto, who was the founder of Bitcoin, had set a monetary policy based on artificial scarcity at Bitcoin's inception itself, that the total number of Bitcoins could never exceed 21 million. As we discussed earlier, the identity of a user is always hidden. When the blockchain records a transaction, it cannot record the ID of the sender or receiver for that matter. It only records the public key or the Bitcoin address. So you trade in the market being an anonymous user. The second thing is that the blockchain is immutable. This means that once a transaction takes place, you cannot reverse or change it. So even if your transaction is visible to someone, very little can they do with that. Every transaction that takes place in cryptocurrency is recorded in blockchain, which is a public ledger, but no one can misuse that information. Now let's take the example of stock market. Whenever we visit a particular stock in our stock or securities account, it shows the last 5 to 10 transactions that took place in that stock right away. What does it shows to you? It shows you the last traded price and the quantity traded in that stock. Now, can you know the information of the person doing that transactions with the help of this information? No, you can't. Similar is the case with cryptocurrency. The blockchain or public ledger shows you the transaction, but only such information is shown to you which cannot be misused at any cost. One can buy a Bitcoin through any cryptocurrency exchange available in their country. In India, there are various cryptocurrency exchanges such as WazirX, CoinDCX, ZebPay, CoinSwitch, etc. And at present, most of these exchanges are offering various sign-up benefits, so you can avail those benefits now. Now comes the big question. What is the minimum investment amount in cryptocurrency? So you see, you can buy a cryptocurrency with as low as 100 rupees in your pocket. Interesting, no? Now many people would argue that when one single Bitcoin is around 28 lakh rupees, then how can we buy a Bitcoin in just 100 rupees? So this is a quite unique feature in cryptocurrency. You can buy even 0.001 Bitcoin or as much 0.00 Bitcoin as you like. But you see, there is no such criteria in any other market. Can you buy a half share of HDFC Bank or of any other company for that matter? No, this can only be done in cryptocurrency. If we look at the complete chart of Bitcoin since its inception, you can see how much fluctuation the currency has seen. In 2018, one single Bitcoin used to cost around $4,000. And now in the last month, the value of one single Bitcoin was around $58,000. And now again in the month of June, it has decreased to $36,000 per Bitcoin. So just by these numbers, you can imagine how much volatile this market is. Cryptocurrencies are good for investment, keeping in mind the today's scenario. But in my personal opinion, people should also consider going for other altcoins such as Ethereum, Matic, etc., which are at the growing stage right now and less vulnerable to the market shift. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you all will like this video. Thank you.